Dear trading friends, a quick update on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but we'll also take a look at Solana because Solana has had an extremely impressive rally, and of course that has led to a series of liquidations among us. I still have an open Solana position. You know, that's the swing long position. We'll quickly go through my positions at the beginning, the current status of the trading bots, all of which are still open. And then we'll move straight on to the chart analysis. There's quite a bit of interesting stuff we can see there. What I suspect might possibly happen, of course, we're talking about probabilities. I'm neither too bullish nor too bearish, but of course I want to take advantage of opportunities when they arise. The liquidation heat map is of course very interesting. We'll do that on a 2-week basis using the heat map. We'll also take a look at the liquidation map, because there we actually get a bit more insight into the current positions. How highly leveraged are they, as we can see here, but also when we look at the 7-day view, how much is currently below us, which could still be very, very interesting in order to perhaps reach the target levels for Bitcoin that we haven't quite hit yet. Then we'll go through large orders in whale trades. What are the institutions and the big players in the market doing? Below us, we can see an incredible number of large positions in limit orders distributed here, all of which are eager to be filled, all the way down to 49,000 US dollars. We'll see if we reach that, but if we take a closer look here, just at what is currently happening at 61,000 US dollars, we see these pattern orders placed at the same time. So 2 days, 3 hours, 2 days, 2 hours. People have positioned themselves everywhere here with the same size. If we go further down, we see similar things lower down as well, that we have these pattern orders here where the same or nearly the same position size is being placed everywhere. Yes, 4 days, 8 hours, there we see again such a whale or institutional player who has placed positions everywhere at the same time because they want these to be filled. We'll see if that actually works out. 54,000 US dollars, still someone who has had this open for 25 days. Very, very interesting. How big are these? We'll take a look at that in a moment. Currently, with the recent rise, my positions are showing a bit less loss, so only 4.93% loss on Bitcoin now. We can see this position at the current time, 43,000 US dollars in size, just under 2,000 US dollars in loss. There are 0.67 Bitcoin in this position, and I would actually like to double and increase it again. There is still a limit order waiting down here at 54,370. Then we also have Solana, which is in profit because it had a good increase. So at the moment, a little more than 1 Solana in profit. Here too, I am waiting for lower prices if we then look at the liquidation heat map or liquidation map. Ethereum, currently about $25,000 in size, and at this point about 1,400 US dollars in loss, but these are build-up positions. Here as well, this will be doubled again, and there's a small XRP position which isn't really worth mentioning yet because it's still far too small, so I'm just waiting for lower prices. If those should still occur, trading bots if we go in here. At the moment, actually everything is pretty clean, quite well in profit. The bottom 2 trading bots we have here are simply waiting for 200% profit. They are only accumulating coins in the spot market. The further we fall, the more is accumulated. Here, the Ethereum bot is actually $800 in the loss, but it has accumulated nearly 12,000 US dollars worth of Ethereum and has a 200% take profit set. That simply means it can just run in the background for me. If we have a quick crash, something gets picked up, and afterwards when we rise again, I just let it sit there. It's simply in spot. Nothing can happen. This one continues running as normal and has now made $88 profit with a $3,000 investment, but it takes 1% profit at a time, and this is also an accumulation bot, one that accumulates Bitcoins. It works just like this one down here. So now these spot DCAs, all of them are well in profit. Then I closed a few bots on PIONEX. We can see that here as well. Today I closed the 100 times DCA bot again with 255% profit. Ethereum before that was also 100x. That was a smaller position with 69% profit. And apart from that, a few others have also been closed out. Currently running bots, if we go in, this is just the history. Most of them are in profit, as we can see here. Also again, a new coin M, which had a very, very good starting price at around 1,550, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere in this range, it has now generated 8% more in Ethereum, at least at this point in time. A long grid bot that is well in profit. The only ones that bother me at the moment are Hype. It doesn't want to go down quite as much as I would like, but it's at a 6% loss, and the real problem child at the moment is simply the S&P 500. It just doesn't want to drop. We'll see how things go from here, but otherwise everything else is actually nicely in profit. The CoinM bots that are in the red, that's all fine with me as well. Down here there's still 1 CoinM, and so in total 2 CoinMs that are still a bit in the red, but they're set up to run long term and can't be liquidated. That's it for the trading bots. Now let's move on to the analysis. Bitcoin. Super exciting, guys. Here we actually have the first target level, and before we move on, let's quickly talk about the 1.414 Fibonacci. I keep getting the question, why do I have this in there? I can't really say exactly anymore. All I can remember is that I educated myself extensively on Fibonacci retracement and Fibonacci extension. And the 1.414 level, which is used very rarely, is actually very often the first reaction level where a rejection occurs, or in this case a support, and then a counter Fibonacci is reached before it really moves on to the other target levels. What could that look like? I already showed this back then on a larger time frame. That was also the first time I sold Bitcoins. If we include the bigger picture here, the first target was the 1.414. We pierced into it here, had a larger rejection before we then reached the actual target levels, 1.618 in this case. And of course, it's interesting to see that we have exactly this behavior regularly on the chart. Not just because I have it here now or because we also saw it down here. Yes, in this area, if I go back to the 4-hour chart, we had exactly the same thing here as well. And now we're seeing a recovery there. And that's why I actually see the possibility that we could still reach these target levels down here. It doesn't have to happen, I have to say that as well. But the probabilities, if I look at the past, you know my chart analyses, we've seen this regularly. First support or first rejection, depending on where the 1.414 is. After that, there was a counter move before it really went down. Because we must not forget one thing at the moment. Overall, we are still in a bearish price structure. It is continuing gradually, and I wouldn't be too bullish here thinking we're going to rise completely, nor too bearish thinking we're going to fall immediately. Because don't forget one thing, every time after a massive crash, and I'll quickly illustrate this, we've had a massive crash and then we accumulated for a while. A small upward trend was possible here with a lot of minor trades internally, but then came the next crash and again a very, very long sideways to upward phase. And maybe now we'll see something similar happening again, depending on how things develop, whether we go lower again, but a possible longer sideways phase before we have the next directional decision. That's why at this point, I wouldn't necessarily expect to see a massive rally or a massive sell-off, but rather just another somewhat grinding sideways phase. But at the current moment, I want to share both the bullish and bearish scenarios with you. Rejection at this point in time. We came just above the 0.618 Fibonacci level. That could really take us further down. The next possible support zone in terms of Fibonacci levels would then be 60,000 to 59,000 or even 58,000 US dollars. But I would be cautious with longs here. I might risk one though. I'm still not entirely sure because actually if we look at it now, let's bring it in again. This would really be nothing more than a bearish trend continuation that we could be experiencing here, seen from a technical perspective. And that's why it's important to be cautious, especially at this level. If we look at the liquidation heat map, there's quite a lot above us, of course. We shouldn't forget that either. Up to 64,000, things get very interesting in these price ranges. Below that, at 57,726, there's a large cluster at the current point on the 2-week basis. Let's go in here. Now this is very, very interesting. Liquidation map. And if we look at the liquidation map on a daily basis just on Binance, we can see, of course, a lot of highly leveraged positions at the moment. The orange bars are 100 times leverage positions that are above us. This means that people are currently trying to short Bitcoin aggressively, but also trying to long it aggressively. So on Monday, we might see a roller coaster ride where both sides get liquidated. But if we look at the 7-day view, things get really interesting. You have to be honest about that. There's hardly anything above us, but below us it's really packed in that regard, especially the 100 times leverage positions. Here, the 100 times leverage position at 60,700 is almost 80 million US dollars in size. And here we have almost 60,000 at 59,900. Let's take a look at that on the chart. 59,900. Very, very interesting. The 0.618 Fibonacci. Maybe we'll really see a trend reversal there and get a correction down into this area and then actually see another rise. That would be the most bullish scenario that could happen if we really continue to rise in order to trigger the liquidations beforehand. Looking at 30 days, it's actually very interesting that we have an almost balanced overall liquidation area. If we look at the billions now, it's 1.8 billion in that area. And here it's also about 1.8 billion when we go in. But what we see here is that we have a lot of high 100 times leverage positions, which are of course much larger here when we look at this, which might become more interesting for institutions. Then we can also see that with Bitcoin here, if we accumulate all exchanges together, because above it was only Binance, we simply see an incredible amount over the last 7 days, down to around 57,700, 57,300 US dollars or so. Where would that be? We would then be dipping into these levels here, entering the next major liquidation on a 2-year basis, and that could actually push us further down in the trend and work through these target levels here. That's it for Bitcoin. Then let's take a quick look at the whale orders, as I mentioned earlier. What does the current situation look like here? Because we have an incredible number of orders currently being placed. Many more institutional investors are at least possibly expecting lower prices, which is why an incredible number of orders are being placed here as well. I think at the current moment, if we take a look and let it load, if we accumulate it, there are, in terms of sell or buy orders that are below us, 1.23 billion plus another 200 million. But we also have a lot that is being bought in the spot market. So if we roughly add everything together, $2 billion are waiting below us to be bought or to be put into long positions. At the same time, if we look above us, up to prices of $69,000, people want to see rejections. And if we look here, there are sell orders on Binance totaling 618 million in the futures sector. OKX has almost another 250 million. And then we have another 100 million, which is also interesting, being sold on Binance in the spot market. So it's also not uninteresting here. Should we break through, quite a few new orders could come in. But this is only a snapshot because, of course, things can change here at any moment. New orders can be added immediately and old ones can be deleted. That's it for Bitcoin for now. Let's move on to Ethereum. Ethereum is also super interesting because Ethereum has really had a strong pump. It was unexpected for it to rise so high, but from this low to this high, it was actually almost 20%. 20% was really a lot. And if we just look at what has pumped since Friday, so really going in here, the last few days, sorry, I meant Thursday was actually when the first pump happened. It was actually already on Thursday. So if we look at this, since Thursday, we've gained almost 14%. So really an awesome performance. You really have to say that. But if we look at it now, that was our last rejection level that we had here. And if we pull it down, we've even broken above the 0.786 level when we go in there now. So very, very interesting. But what's really interesting on the daily chart for Ethereum, if we include that now, is that we've now reached the target level. So from this low to this high, and then that was our next low that we reached. We can see that we've really hit all the target levels up here. Once again, so precise. These Fibonacci levels are just incredible. But these target levels could now cause us to get a rejection. RSI on the daily chart still has room to move. If we look at it on the 4-hour chart, we're already in a very overbought area. So I could actually see us getting a correction here. But I would still be really cautious here. If we see something like this and then a move down and the RSI can't keep up, then we would have a confirmation because you might already know this rising price. In this case, a falling RSI would be a bearish divergence. That could really pull us down to lower prices. The next Fibonacci-based support levels at the current time are 1,677 to 1,646. Yes, interesting, but there are also liquidation clusters at the 0.786 level. And with Ethereum, these target levels down here are actually invalidated because we've now broken through the wave B that we had here to the upside. That's why Ethereum is actually more interesting, because we might get a trend reversal here. Because wave B was broken, that means what we had, ABC, is no longer valid since we've made a new high there. That's why things are getting extremely interesting with Ethereum now. So let's also take a look at the liquidation heat map for Ethereum on a 2-week basis on the heat map. There we see an incredibly large cluster from 1050 to 1509. Still levels where I would like to buy in now. And we can see that in this area here since June 28th, new long orders have been built up, which have their liquidation around $1,258. Of course, that doesn't mean anything yet, but they simply used lower leverage so that their liquidation only happens down there. Therefore, at the next correction, around 1,550 to 1,512, and my buy order is at $1,500. If we come back to these areas again, then I'll just sell my spot Ethereum for now, and if we go lower, I still have the option to buy more. But let's also take a look at Ethereum on the liquidation map. 7 days, that's what I mean as well. We simply have an incredible amount below us compared to above us. That's why maybe we'll still pick up what we see here. 1,800 and a bit more are forming a bearish divergence, just as I mentioned earlier. But these are all exchanges accumulated here, and we can take another look at that if you like. If we look at this only on Binance, we can see that the 100 times leverage positions over 30 days are incredibly high below us. There are also 100 times leverage positions above us, 1,028, which is interesting. Let's look at the last 7 days, and compared to above us, there are hardly any highly leveraged positions, but below us, down to $1,600, there are again massive amounts of 100 times leverage positions. All these prominent bars here, that's why I can imagine that we'll target those first, and then we'll see what the next directional move will be. To wrap up, let's look at Solana. Solana is incredibly exciting considering what it's achieved. Let me just quickly pull that up again. I had already drawn this out for myself earlier. We had that strong correction downward, and since then we haven't hit a Fibonacci level again. And what has happened now? We did briefly stall at the 0.5 level, but now we're continuing upward toward the 1.618 Fibonacci. And now we've just received the first rejection there. This means that if this rejection really takes hold, we could see the next correction downward, which might lead us to higher prices later on. Why does the 0.786 level become interesting? I'll show you that again in a moment. But for now, this is the first rejection. We've already reached some target levels here if I include that. That would have been the first small target level in this area, yes, which we had here. Here too you can see the first rejection that we had in it. But this is only the 4-hour chart. If we switch to the daily chart, things get a lot more interesting because there we have a larger structure. If we draw that in, the 0.786 level above us suddenly becomes very interesting. Because the low to this high to this correction, and if I draw this in now, I have to make sure to draw it correctly so that we do it properly. In this area, if we really continue to rise, the 0.786 Fibonacci and the 1.618 target level are actually almost exactly on top of each other. That means I would actually dare to take a short position there because that's super interesting. If we do continue to rise here, do we have to rise immediately? I can't say. None of us will be able to say for sure. The next level that becomes interesting if we correct is around 73 to 71 US dollars, where we also get volume support again. What we also have here now, if I turn on the VPBR and include this area, where did we have the most traded volume? We're now roughly here at the point of control. This bar with the white line, that's where Solana has faced rejection at this point in time. That means a recovery down here and maybe further up could be interesting. Liquidation heat map, let's also look at Solana on the 2-week time frame. That also looks very interesting below us. There we see 70 US dollars, a large cluster. Of course, we have quite a bit more distributed below that, but $70 is interesting. Why do I want to point out the $70? Let's also take a look at that. If we include the Binance liquidation heat map, then on a 1 month or 1 week basis, there's quite a bit below us on the left, very close down to 78, and then more below that. But let's look at the 30-day time frame. That's where it gets interesting. There's really a lot distributed there compared to what's above us. That means we see the same pattern with all coins. Roughly at $74.50, there are very strong 100 times leverage positions in there. And if we now look at it again, all exchanges accumulated over 7 days, we can see what's actually lying below us. That could mean a correction might set the stage for the next recovery. That would certainly be interesting, and these price ranges are definitely exciting for Solana. So that will be my next move, and I might also increase my position a bit somewhere here if we go in. Because with Solana as well, we have weekly bullish divergence, but I just wouldn't be too bullish expecting an immediate massive rally. Don't forget, I rather suspect that after such a big crash, we'll simply have a longer accumulation phase moving sideways for a while, with people regularly getting shaken out of the market. With that, that's all for now. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and see you next time.